Government can't control everything without controlling
the Geek Speak Radio Show on TalkZone.com.
And we're back on the Geek Speak Radio Show. We're talking to Ken Denmead, author of GeekDad. Ken, welcome back to the Geek Speak Radio Show.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so let's get into the book itself now. Like, first thing, before anybody gets turned off, it's not, like Ken mentioned a minute ago, it's not a how-to book, how to be a parent. It's not one of those. It's actually a fun book. I'm holding it in my hands right now as we speak. Well, why me? Ken, tell everybody what they can expect when they go into this book.
Well, one of the most important things I say straight from the start is that it is not a book about, telling you about things to do to your kids. It's about giving you ideas of things to do with your kids, hopefully stuff that you're going to have as much fun with as they will in doing it, because they're sort of offbeat projects. A lot of them have a little bit of science in it, but it's hidden in the project so that you can look back on it once you're done and go, hey, wait a minute, I learned something. That was cool. It runs the gamut from doing cool things with cake in the kitchen to flying balloons with cameras on them, and doing neat things with like RC cars and stuff.
One I really liked, and let's start with that one. The one I really liked is the building your own RPG, because like you mentioned in the start of the interview, and I also mentioned, I love playing D&D, the actual D&D game, not the online. What do they call the World of Warcraft ones? I don't like playing those. But my kids today, mine included, they're more of the computer generation, and playing board games. They're like, nah, rolling dice, not really for me, Dad. But that one, I think they can get into that one. So why don't you tell us about that one real quick?
Oh, building your own board game?
Your own RPG.
Oh, there are two? No, hold on. There's two projects. There's one project about raising your kids with RPG rules, and there's another one that's about developing your own board game.
Yeah, the one I'm talking about is the one where you build your own RPG. Pretty much a real life RPG is what you're doing, keeping with the scorecard and everything.
Right. Okay, so the idea there is, because RPGs are basically, sort of simulators for life. They're supposed to be about trying to track and simulate the ideas of learning and gaining experience and developing new skills, and in sort of a mathematical way, in a way of numbers and rolling dice and stuff. Why not use that as a structural framework for helping your kids grow and helping them sort of get around the idea of, I have chores, I have responsibilities, and if I execute those, do them well and diligently, then I'm actually learning stuff. I'm gaining experience from that. And as I do that, that means I'm growing as a person, and I will then get new perks out of that, new things that I get allowed to be able to do because I've proven myself to be a responsible person. So I sort of go back to kind of the basics of I think like the D&D third and half edition rules, and use that as a starting point. You have your kid sort of create themselves as an RPG character, as a wizard of some kind or a warrior of some kind, and then they have stats, statistics, abilities, and such, and then you give them tasks to do. Their adventures are making sure they get their homework done, making sure they keep their room clean, making sure they've helped you with some of the yard work, things like that. But instead of getting allowance directly for that, they gain experience points. And just like playing an RPG, you sort of track everything you do, you track the experience points you get, and then you reach a certain number of experience points. It means you get to go up a level. Now all of a sudden the kid gets some skill points to play with their character, and those skill points they could buy with it an extra half hour of TV a week, or an extra 50 cents a week on their allowance, or maybe they're buying the responsibility to do something more that is something that an older kid might try to do. I think the example I give is, you can have a kid start with, they're helping you with the yard work by helping you wake up after you've mowed the lawn. They go up a level, they get some skill points, and they buy the skill being allowed to use the lawnmower supervised. So now they're mowing the lawn. They can earn more experience points because now they're doing more, a more challenging task. And then eventually they go up another level, they get more skill points, then they can earn because they've done the job. They know what they're doing. They've grown as a person. Then they can buy, using the lawnmower unsupervised to do the job. And now, you know what you've done? You've now got your kid sort of interested in the idea of going out and doing the yard work for you. They've taken that responsibility and they've grown as a person.
Hey Ken, this is Romo right here. I just wanted to say I'm a big fan of the book. I read it. I took some really good info from GeekDad, and I feel like I could use it personally for when I become a dad. I just wanted to say thanks
Fantastic.
For writing the book. And also, I wanted to know, what is your favorite project that you like to share with your own kids?
Oh, let's see, favorite project from in the book that what's the challenge now is that I'm actually developing new projects for the new book, so we're all into those right now. But my kids had a lot of fun with the board game. And we haven't gotten to pull it out for a number of months, but I think we'll probably do that again soon. We have got tons of fun with the Lego RC Car Demolition Derby.
Yeah, I actually seen the video on that one, and we may link it up on GeekSpeakRadioShow.com. Everything else, the podcast, the book, everything is linked on GeekSpeakRadioShow.com. If you guys want to go out there and get the book, take a look at it, and get to know about Ken. That one, the Never-Ending Demolition Derby. How did you come up with the idea for that? Because here, most of us have old toys that we don't know what to do with, and we can use those, build cars out of them, and that in itself becomes a project. So how did you come up with that, a Demolition Derby?
Well, I was obviously sort of casting around for new ideas, and I knew I wanted to do something with vehicles. And I thought about it. My kids each had a couple of RC cars that they'd gotten over the years. Not nothing real fancy, just the inexpensive ones you get at Target or Walmart or wherever. And just thinking about those are the kind of toys that they get given to you on a birthday or Christmas, and the kids say, "Oh wow, that's so cool! I got an RC car," and they go out and they play with it for like a half an hour out front, and they basically exhaust the excitement, and it gets put on the shelf and ignored for a while. And I was trying to figure out, all right, how do you take that cheap RC car, the fancier ones, they can get into the hobby big time and pay hundreds of dollars and then go out and race on tracks. That's a whole nother realm of geekhood. But with the inexpensive ones, how could you sort of freshen up the experience of playing with them? And of course, we have tons of Lego bricks around our house for various and sundry things. And however inspiration struck, it occurred to me that you could start sticking Lego bricks on the cars, on the outside of the cars, and have those be the pieces that fly off in a demolition derby. And it just took a little bit of fiddling, finding the right way to attach the bricks on, and we started playing it, and it just worked so well.
Yeah, and that's the other good thing about the project that you have in the book again, GeekDad. You don't claim that your way is the only way. In fact, you encourage people to go on there and perfect it, as you put it, right?
Absolutely. I've got no ego connected to these projects, and I so hope that people do them and then figure out how to do them better. Or, I also can't assume that everybody has the exact same materials lying around their house or the exact same, experience that I do. So someone else will look at the idea and, have an inspiration on how to do it differently. And so I've totally been inviting people. I've got a blog set up for the book called GeekDadBook.com, and I invite everybody who reads it to stop by there. And on the forums, I ask people, please leave, write up your own experiences of doing the projects and, share it with the community, how maybe you did it different or better.
Yeah, no, that is linked up on GeekSpeakRadioShow.com, as I said. So, Ken, we are coming up to the holidays. Next week it'll be September, so we're coming up to the holidays, including my favorite, Halloween, and you have some holiday projects in the book. So why don't you give us a quick preview of what they are?
Well, I think Halloween has become the geekiest holiday of the year, and my contribution to that in the book is trying to do something geekier than normal with your jack-o'-lanterns. It's been interesting to see how jack-o'-lantern design has evolved over the last 10 or 15 years, and now you can get these really neat sort of templates. They're cut out sheets. You pin it to the pumpkin, and then carve out according to the lines. And you can get interesting faces and stuff. But I think you need to go further. I think you need to dig into the broken toys and electronics that you have lying around, and add those features. Add glowing eyes. Add maybe limbs built off of the little motors that might be in a broken RC car or a broken robot toy you have lying around. I have even gone as far as putting in a wireless video camera and wireless speakers into a jack-o'-lantern, then having that sitting out on the walkway, and when kids come walking up, talking to them through the jack-o'-lantern. So that worked really well. And then for Christmas, the one that I found that is just too much fun is that all of us as geeks and a lot of us as just parents and dads have that drawer of leftover cable. Somewhere in your house, you have a box or a drawer that has every extra USB cable, every extra AV cable that you ever got as part of any piece of electronics, and have always hated the idea of trying to throw away. So, dig those out and make your Christmas wreath out of leftover cable.
Yeah, and one more, we talk a lot about movies here. This one is not complicated, but just takes a little bit more time. And build your own outdoor movie theater. Tell us about that one.
That was an idea from one of my writers on the GeekDad blog, Dave Banks. And not the easiest job. It's a little more involved than everything else, but it can make for just a wonderful summer experience. And that is, instead of spending $3,000 or $4,000 to buy them out of the Sharper Image style catalogs, get some PVC pipe to build the frame, get some canvas for the screen, and stick a couple posts and some concrete and some buckets, and build your own movie screen for backyard film fests. And then invite the neighborhood over. All you need is borrow the LCD projector from work, hook it up to your laptop, and play movies in your backyard.
You can have your own film festival. So we're talking to Ken Denmead, author of Geek Dad, awesomely geeky projects and activities for dads and kids to share. And again, it's not just for dads. Anyone can share these projects with the kids. Before I let you go, Ken, can you give us anything about what's going to be in the follow-up?
Definitely more projects, in line with it. A lot more trying to hack together stuff that you already have lying around but haven't thought about using. More food-related stuff. And food and science, which I think is going to be really interesting for people. And a few geeky celebrities are contributing things to the book, which I think is really exciting.
Yeah, that should be cool to read that. So again, Ken Denmead, thanks a lot. He's the author of Geek Dad, awesomely geeky projects and activities for dads and kids to share. The links are on GeekSpeakRadioShow.com for the blog, the book, and the book blog. GeekDadBook.com. That's all on GeekSpeakRadioShow.com. Ken, thanks a lot for taking the time to come on and talk to us.
It was great. Thanks for having me.
Sure, we'll have you back anytime. So there you go. Ken Denmead, again, author, Geek Dad, awesomely geeky projects and activities for dads and kids to share. And again, not two things, not a self-help book, not a how-to parent book, not a this is how you should raise your kids. It's actually a fun thing, and it's not just for dads, like I said.
Geek Speak Radio Show will be right back.